How to rise above negative people and negative thoughts. You know what? When you learn this, you'll always be happy. So, hello, my name is Robert Hollis. I'm going to plug into my group right here really quick to see who's on here, and we'll get started in just one moment. Hi, Mary. Hi, Craig. Hi, Melody. Hi, Jody, Dustin, Renee, Jerome. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Jerome. Love and appreciate you, Inner Circle member. So awesome. Hi, Deborah, Bill, Lisa Marie, Bill again, Sandy, Eric, John. Great to have you guys on here watching my time here. And just love and appreciate you so much. Um, Jerome, and all of you, by the way. So, wow, I got some wild hair going on here. All right, go ahead and get started. Okay, so hello, my name is Robert Hollis, and I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And today's title is How to Rise Above Negative People and Negative Thoughts. Now, one of the things that I think a lot of people just don't realize is we all know thoughts are things. Eric, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you, man. Sort of overwhelmed right now, people plugging in. But, the philosophy of your happy life. See, a lot of people say, well, how do I stop getting negative thoughts? And how do I stop allowing negative people and stuff to affect me? It's your thoughts. See, it's your thoughts. When you're constantly thinking about your vision and you're constantly looking forward and you keep looking forward. We all have heard of Walt Disney, right? And Walt Disney had this thought where he was always looking forward to the next thing they were creating, right? And for some of you that don't know this, he when he came up with the concept of having a theme park and having cartoons, he actually tried to start, I believe it was in Florida, if I got the story correct, and it didn't work. And so he filed bankruptcy. And back then, states kept records of who held bankruptcy, but it wasn't a federal thing. It wasn't state to state, sort of like old days, like me, 61. If you had a driver's license, there was no way for them to know if you really had one or not in a different state. Of course, today, totally different. But the point is that he kept going to state to state to state, believing in his vision, sharing with people to invest in his goals, to create this vision come true. And every time he failed, he would file bankruptcy and just go to another state. So the story goes is, he had this cartoon character. You guys probably have all heard of him, Freddie the Rabbit. That's the first character that he had. So he would draw on it and he would thumb it and make these cartoon characters move. Well, he finally ran into a group of investors that said, you know what? If we invest in you, we want ownership, part ownership in the intellectual property, the IP. And so when the theme park didn't work, and he filed bankruptcy, now his ideas, now his dreams, his vision of everything with Freddie the Rabbit was now owned by the investors. So there's a phrase out there, and I love this phrase. See, everyone's worried that have scarcity thinking. If you have scarcity thinking, you always feel like someone can take something that was not intended for you. Did you hear what I said? So you're always thinking that if I don't do this and I'm always under this stress, and if I don't do this, or if I don't talk to this person, or if I don't come up with this idea, then someone's going to steal it. In the business that I'm in, everyone's worried about somebody else taking their people. Like, you own them. Slavery is supposed to be gone. You don't own people, right? And so the concept the story is then Walt Disney ended up, of course, in California. And because they stole his intellectual property, he got depressed. And then he said, if I came up with the magic before, you can steal the idea, but you can't steal the magic. So then what he did is he created a character called Mickey. And of course, we all know Mickey the Mouse. So, then once he made it successful, then he went back and of course not went back to Florida. So, oh, thank you so much, Melody. I love and appreciate you so much. Super chatter. That money goes to children. So it's so awesome. So now the next part is your philosophy. So how you rise above the negative thoughts is you just really have all your thoughts. What you think about the most comes true. What you think about the most comes true. So now what you got to do is you got to constantly keep moving forward and coming up with new ideas and new magic and new things that you can create. You were created to create. You were created to create. I shared with the inner circles today a video of I wish I would remember his name, but he's 17 years old and he's got only 1 to 300 people have this disease where it makes you really old really fast. So he's a whopping 17 years old when he did this TED talk, and his whole philosophy is a happy life. And so what was amazing about that is I shared it in the Discord, so to the inner circle people. And he was saying everyone that he talked to, so this is negative thoughts and negative people. And he said when he met people, they felt sorry for him because of things that he couldn't do. And he said, why can't you just focus on things that you can do? So everyone focuses, I can't do this, and I can't do this, I can't do this. What can you do? What can you do that's creative, taking baby steps each and every day and getting closer and closer to your vision? Bill, thank you so much, man. I love and appreciate you. Again, for super chatters, you can see below on this video, there's a $sign in a box, and all the money that is raised goes directly to children, orphans, kinship, which is people that actually are family members of the children that don't have parents or that were taken away from their parents, like me. Foster care. So thank you again, each and every one of you. I just love and appreciate you. It's so awesome. Talked to my accountant today about the foundation, so we're almost finished with that. Then the other part, of course, that's very, very important on how to rise above, negative people and negative thoughts, is to constantly focus on what you can do and become gooder at what you can do. See, the one thing that people don't realize is that they always think that the spot between, average and above average, they think is huge. For you to become in the top 3 and 5% of anything you do just takes consistency. So just takes consistency. I watched another TED talk today. Of course, that's part of my morning routine, right? And I watched this guy and he said, it's just amazing to him how much time we spend thinking about things that are not only out of our control, but we never focus on things that are the little things that could make us extraordinary. And what he said that is connecting and communication with other people. He says, when you can connect and communicate to other people and, how to win friends and influence people, it's all about changing the paradigm of it's not about us, it's about them. What's in it for me? And so when you can really, really, really focus, you think I do these videos for me? No, I do these videos because I know in my heart of heart whether live or recorded, that this is going to make a difference in people's lives because we get to choose. We have free will. And so, of course, the other part of that is surrounding yourself with people like that. Surround yourself with people like that. So you see these people that are always upbeat, they're always happy, they're always optimistic. They always have my brother, my youngest brother, turned 56 today, right? And he's always, I that's a whole different story of my siblings. They when I got taken away from my parents, they actually went to another place, so I didn't even get to hang around with my brothers when I was young. And so we're not that close, but still, they're my brothers. I don't talk to Benny at all. But Brian, I call him, a couple times a year. He calls me a couple times a year. And I asked him, I knew he got a new job. And I said to him, I said, hey, I said, tell me how your job's going. And then he got quiet for a little bit because he knows me. And he goes, what do you want me to say? I said, tell me what you love about your job. Give me gratitude about your job. And he's going, I'm glad I got one. I said, what else? He says, I got a company vehicle and they pay for all the maintenance and the gas. I'm going, wow. What else? I get paid vacations. I got great benefits. I'm going, what a way to look at your job. And he goes, you do that every time you talk to me. And I said, do what? He says, you always get me to focus on sharing with you the things that are going great in my life. Because you guys know the average person, right? The conformist, the complacent person, hanging around the wrong people. You ask them, hey, how's your job? It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's like they're focusing on the things that they don't want. They're focusing on the things that they don't like. So you just keep getting more of that. So the goal is I know some of you have heard this, and if you haven't, I'm glad to share it with you, but you're not going to get more of anything in your life if you're not grateful for what you already have. So that's why you got to really learn to be grateful and get into that good feeling, of being very, very grateful for what you have. And I'm talking from the minor things, right? From, if I'm constantly grateful and I'm going through the 6 phase meditation and I know I'm a miracle and I'm grateful for those things, then other things will come to me. And that's the way my life has always been. Even when I was in foster homes, I would constantly go, wow, what is the saying? Some people can say, well, it could be worse. Very young in life, I was saying, how are you? Well, I'm greatly blessed, highly favored, and deeply loved. And so people that are close to me, including my brother, will immediately say that. Scott McKinney, man, thank you so much for being a super chatter. I love you. Thank you for the donation. Ah, man, just so awesome, right? So again, let's talk about how to rise above negative people and negative thoughts. It's a free will, and you choose to do so. You choose to do so. So unfortunately, you have to limit the amount of things that you do, including hanging around people that doesn't make you feel good. Isn't that pretty simple? You just limit your time. So there are people that I know that watch shows and watch a lot of shows where it doesn't make them feel good. Now, of course, you're going to have the pessimists in the world that say, well, Robert, that isn't reality. It's not your reality. It's not your reality. It's my reality of whether or not I decide that everything's okay. I'm grateful for everything, but I'm going to continue to grow. And that I know that the more I give, the more I get. So I need to be consistent in sharing with people that have never heard the message that I learned through my life. That if you're not fulfilled, you're not happy, you don't have your finances in the right place, you don't have freedom, you're not doing the things you would love to do with the people that you love the most, then I have a cure for that because that's what I wanted in my life. I seeked out my journey. And immediately when I hung around people that I got mentored by, I did a video yesterday, the gratefulness for my mentors. As soon as I decided that I wanted to hang around and do things instead of thinking about the things I couldn't do, as soon as I focused on the things that I did want, all right, that I really truly wanted in my vision, I started connecting with people that could help me fulfill that. And it just went from one level of my life to another, to another, to another. So when you're hanging around people, like the inner circle that are in that mentality where I'm going to look forward, I'm going to create a vision that pulls me. I'm going to spend time on a day-to-day basis, as much time as I can being a daydreamer, and just locked in emotionally on this new vision I'm going to create. Then I will continue to look forward. If I have something to look forward to, I am going to be happy. I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm going to be excited. And when I stay for a majority of the moments in my life in that space, then that's what I'm causing things to attract, the resources, the people, the money, whatever I need to make that vision come to pass. So if you want to rise above negative people and negative thoughts, you got to do what you are now. Now, do I have negative thoughts? Of course I do. Do I still sometimes connect negative with negative people? Yes. I just recognize it immediately. The one thing that there's a great saying out there is if you ever become a right fighter, right? Like people always think they're right. They believe that they know everything. It's sort of cool in life to get to a place where the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. And you don't have to be a right fighter. So why would you have an argument or try to convince somebody against their will that when you do all that, they're still at the same mindset still? Right? So now all of a sudden, when you run into someone that's a negative person, lives in reality because they created their reality, you got to understand that very, very simply is that why would you argue with them? Why would you try to convince them? You can just say, wow, well, I wish you a bunch of happiness and success. I gotta go. Trying to argue with a fool, trying to argue with someone that is a fool, excuse me, makes you a fool if you drop down to their level. Excuse me. So, like some of the comments that are made that I heard is that why would you argue with a right fighter about changing their opinion? They're an expert. They're an expert of constantly sharing their opinion. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't make a difference. But they're a master. They spend all day, every day trying to, be a dream stealer. Wow. I haven't talked about that in a long time. So a majority of the people do not want to admit that you might find some wisdom to make you more fulfilled, more happy, more more excited about life. So when all of a sudden you find those, that's why these dream stealers come out of the woodwork to try to squash your dream and say that ain't the way it is. Why don't you get a job? Why don't you just be average? Why aren't you like anybody else? I wasn't created. I never thought about that. No one says that to me, by the way, anymore. Maybe because of my confidence and my belief in myself. But if someone said to me, why don't you be like everyone else? The first thought that I'd have in my mind It's like, wouldn't it be stupid if we all had the same DNA? I wasn't created to be like everybody else. Why in the hell would I want to live on a household income of 54,000? That's nuts to me. Why is it nuts to me? Because someone gave me a different philosophy, a different way to think, and I chose to think that way because I already knew what my results were going to be if I thought the other way. Ah, right? So I wasn't I it was 27, when I started really figuring out that the people that had a funner life and a more fulfilled life and a more financially successful life and they did all these things. It was pretty obvious to me when I was 27 and got to hang around for what is that, like 4 years, 5 years with a multi-billionaire. Roger Penske, it really got me. He was the first company that I worked for that required me to read a book. He's like, listen, I here's the philosophy that I want to instill in the people that work for me. He was the one that came up with that concept. Robert, how do you know that? How do you know that? Help me instill documentation beats conversation. It's people like this that have a thought pattern and they're always getting gooder. They're always getting gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder and gooder. They're always looking forward. They're always surrounding people that are talking about things that they can do instead of all the things that they can't do. So I hope this video inspired you, gave you hope. If I can do it, you can do it. If other people on this chat has done it, you can do it. I love and appreciate you. And if you could do me a huge personal favor, please share this video with those that need to be more happy, that need to rise above the negative people. Your job is not to convince them of a different way. Your job is to find people that already don't like areas in their life and want to move forward. So again, thank you to the new Inner Circle members. Thank you so much. And also thank you to the super chatters. I love and appreciate you very, very much. And have a wonderful and great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.